Welcome to the first week of me being unemployed. I already foreshadowed a bit in my last video, but after working on my thesis for the better part of the year, I ended up not being further employed by my team. As we all know, company politics are what I can only describe as a muddy and downright scary jungle, and while my team told me a little too late that they do not have any vacancies, I started my internal job search a little too late as well. And now we have an entirely new situation to me where I wake up in the morning without any plans. Just kidding, I obviously have a plan. But that doesn't change the fact that I probably have at least a month in front of me where I don't have a job and no further responsibilities other than dragging myself out of bed and not succumbing to an entirety of leisure time, anxiety, and self-conscious downward spiraling. But don't you worry, I know how to fill my time if I need to. The first and most important thing I gotta do is obviously to accept this new situation of mine. If you know me at all, or if you have seen my earlier videos where I talk about my anxiety, you know that I thrive on my routine and I have a lot of trouble with the unknown. Change is scary, even though it is usually something that makes us grow and thrive. But accepting change is never easy. My situation is what it is now, and that is okay. In fact, there's probably a lot of advantages I can find in it. The next step is to make an action plan of what I actually want in life. I have the privilege of having time to really think about my future, the job I want to have, and the people I want to surround myself with. If anything, I can be grateful that I have this time now for myself. I'm ready to go. It was very nice meeting my friend and just having a bit of a talk about everything that's going on. I feel like it was also very benefiting for me to talk to her about this whole job situation that I'm in. It kind of gave me a little bit more of a perspective on the benefits that it has. She pointed out that having more time to search for a job is actually also so good because I can actually find something I like and what I can identify with instead of rushing into something just to have something. And I mean, I'm in a very privileged position to be able to sustain myself for a few months if needed without a full-time job. So that put a few things into perspective again, and I feel comfortable and at ease about it. I'm gonna use the next few hours to just wind down and read something, clean up my kitchen, and then I have my dance class later on. And maybe I have to take a nap because I drank the coffee and now I'm a little bit tired. Another perk that this break has for me is that I can pursue some hobbies I thought were long lost and buried somewhere in my brain. A few weeks ago I signed up for dance classes again, and I'm currently making it my entire personality. I definitely have to hype myself up because I'm not feeling motivated right now. I did not expect that this year would be the year I tackle my fear of exercise classes, but here we are.
tropics, oh I got a little bit my violet shawty, she my problem, oh I. And if you ever got it, baby, I'ma solve it, baby. You're fine, not try to waste your time. She said I need you in my life, girl I can't reach. I can't take your bullshit anymore, baby. See me walking through the door, yeah.
I did 2 dance classes yesterday evening and I'm so tired now. I felt like the first one wasn't really doing a lot for me, so I stayed for the second one. The second one was so good, but by that time I only had like 60% of my energy left, so I was hanging on by a thread in the end. And I feel like I can just sleep for ages now, but it's already, can you see that? It's already 8:45 and I have a few appointments today and I have to finish up a few things. So let's get to work. It is kind of weird waking up in the morning without really needing to. Even with my last presentation of my thesis coming up, I could sleep in and stay in bed as long as I would want to. But I'm pretty sure that would be the death of me. As you know, I thrive on order, so I'm trying to keep my life as organized as possible. This means waking up more or less on schedule, cleaning up my place and making my bed, putting on something else than pajamas and maybe even makeup if I feel like it. I need to make sure that my place stays clean so my thoughts have room. If I keep my space a mess, I feel like it always translates into my mind as well.
You in the backyard of your old farm in the summer.
Today's major agenda point is a call I have to do with the agency who will tell me whether I get state support in the next month.
Skip to the present, haven't been so happy ever.
Okay. Ciao. I thought this would be something way longer. I had an appointment which was about to last 30 minutes. And now they called me even earlier than planned. I was just walking through my apartment trying to prepare for having to talk to a stranger person again. And now I actually just asked a few of my questions and I'm getting everything else by post. So that was easy. That was nice. I'm glad I did that. And that's done. This was my second appointment related to getting state support when I'm unemployed. By now it seemed relatively easy, but let's see how it is when I get the documents to actually sign up. I'm just working on a few things simultaneously today. I'm doing the presentation for my thesis and I'm taking some notes for what I want to put in the script. I'm trying to write a bit of an article for a project that I have, and I'm also working on this video right now, and I'm kind of just trying to interchange the tasks so I don't get bored. Also, I have my job interview at 5 with a person from my old company for a different team, so I might go back if that works out, but let's see how it goes. And then I have yet another dance class in the evening. As you know, yesterday I did 2 and I was so tired. I could have slept through the whole morning basically, but it's so much fun and it gives me so much joy. I feel way better since starting dancing again, so I'm excited. I really admire people who are self-employed. Sometimes I watch videos of YouTubers who made it their full-time job and I'm always impressed how they self-structure. In my last job, I barely ever went to the office, but even having the opportunity to go and see people you work with in person always gave me a lot of ease. Well, now it's on me to self-structure, to be my own bestie at the office, which is my living room right now, and to structure my day in a way that makes sense without anyone helping me out. This actually went super well. Sometimes I just surprise myself with how social I can be if I really need to. I feel like a lot of times at work I'm just so overwhelmed and so socially anxious, and then it comes to something like this and I'm like an entirely different person. And I think I totally convinced this man, this random stranger, of me and my abilities, or at least my persona. I don't know, but yeah, let's see how it goes. I have another interview with a different team next week as well. Okay, I will have a chill moment and then I have to go to my dance class. So we now know what I have to do to make the best out of the situation. Accept it, organize myself, appreciate what I have, and find a structure that works for me. Pretty easy, right? Now, all of this planning and being grateful for the amount of free time I have and making the most of the time sounds pretty good. But it is so hard to actually put into my reality. Because my reality is a deep-rooted fear of the unknown. When I have a clear structure and short to mid-term goals in front of me, my anxieties focus on the immediate things I can grasp. Like social anxiety, being overwhelmed in a project, things that happen that make sense to me. Now, sitting at home, a place where I usually feel safe in, this big thread of not knowing just hangs over my head and pushes me down. And while I try not to let it get to me, it is already closer than I thought it was. I notice it in the little day-to-day things. How I don't sleep so well, how I seem to not get out of bed in the morning, how my stomach acts up more regularly, how I am easily irritated and angry about nothing and everything. How thoughts I thought were buried underneath a pile of rational explanations come up, and I ask myself things like, do my friends even like me? Am I capable of having genuine relationships with people? Do I always get in the way of myself? Or am I faking to be a good person? But then I remember the reality of life and my own being. I'm not perfect and I make mistakes. People do not always agree with each other. Sometimes I need to take breaks. I'm learning and growing every day, and this is enough sometimes. Sometimes it is enough to just be, and not knowing is okay. If I don't see the top of the mountain, I can just take one foot in front of the other and still get there eventually. And for me, one foot in front of the other means to take it slow, do my third laundry wash of the week, and enjoy the little things.
What does it take to live a little bit? What does it take to be wanted? What does it take? 20-something years till nobody really wants you. Save for all your family and a couple lonely friends. Looking back, it feels like you've been working for this moment. Now that it's arrived, you're wondering when it's gonna end. Let the water in the shower turn to freezing. Listening to Ira just to help you fall asleep. Wonder if the privilege in your poverty has...
Yesterday I did not vlog at all because I got my period, and these days I just feel so sick on the first day of my period. I literally just stayed in bed. I stayed in bed, I took painkillers and tried to be a little bit productive and do something for my presentation that I have to finish, but I did like a slide or something and then I was done. I really have to see how I figure this out and work around my period, especially when I start working full-time, because I cannot imagine having like a workshop or an important meeting I have to go and getting my period and not being able to stay in bed and just watch old children's TV to calm myself down, because I feel like my period is always kind of connected also to a lot of anxiety about the pain, but also in general somehow. But yeah, it was really not worthwhile showing you anything that I did yesterday because I didn't do anything. I did dye my eyebrows a little bit. As you can see, they're like a little bit darker right now, which made me feel a little bit better about myself. But besides that, I looked like trash and I felt like it as well. It's also the weather, because it's just raining constantly. It's super stormy, typical October weather. Today I'm gonna just stay home. Maybe if I feel good enough, I'll go to a coffee shop or something to work there. And then in the afternoon, my family is gonna come here actually for a few days. And we have a reservation at this one pizza spot. So I hope until then I definitely feel good enough to go out.